What's up, guys? It's Adam Grover coming back at you with another video. I got good news and I got some bad news. So I'll start with the bad news. As you guys know, I was trying to make the No Name Nationals. And granted, it is pretty far away. But the budget, I think, is the biggest problem. One of the biggest problems. I had someone lined up to tow the car. My father, obviously, he would be going, and I had a guy, a good friend of mine, who's going to help me tune this car, and he's going to be involved with the whole tuning process of this thing. He was going to go as a crew member with me to be at my door, just the door guy, and he'd be there. Good friend of mine. He'd be there to help me, support me, whatever I needed, he'd do. And that's Matt from R&M Automotive. But like I said, the budget, I sat down and priced it today, and it's just, I don't think it's doable with everything I have going on. And then there's stuff here that has to be taken care of with pets, family, things like that. So I don't want to get too in depth, on it. But the budget is the main thing. It's a lot. Lodging, all that expense. The trip isn't horrible as far as driving and getting a car there, but the rest it adds up real quick. I mean, you're talking, I would need probably roughly about 6 spectator tickets, and it's only fair for me to pay those since people are taking off of work, doing me the favor of going down there, driving down there, towing my car, or just being there, helping, whatever it is, just them being there. It's the least I could do is spend a $35 spectator fee for them, That's only fair. So, but when you need 6 of them, and then, like I said, the lodging, all that, it's a lot. So I can't expect people to just up and go and cover all that stuff. Even if I did have help, I don't think there's enough help to to cover the cost. So, excuse me, it's a lot. So, and I'm talking a couple thousand. Like, it's not like a couple $100, a couple thousand. So that's a lot for my pockets when you got projects needing to be done, things around the house needing to be taken care of. That money could go toward a lot of other things. So that race is probably not going to make it. That's like a 99% chance we're not going. 1% chance that maybe things might change. 1%. So that's slim to none. I am sorry. I apologize to you guys. A lot of you guys were looking forward to me going. I appreciate the guys who liked and subscribed to the channel due to that. I apologize to all you guys that I can't make it. Sincerely, I do. Because I was really looking forward to it. I know my dad was. And I think even the guys that were going to help, the guy that was going to tow the car, he's never been to Missouri, so he was down to go. He's like, I've never been there. I'll go. Heck yeah. And he's always there. Whenever I ask him to go somewhere, we went to Tennessee, he went to Texas, picked up my 55 in Mississippi. That kid's down to go wherever. So he was probably looking forward to that. And then my buddy Matt, he could probably use a vacation. That guy he nonstop works. So, it would have been a nice trip. Would have been fun. Would have been something definitely for the books, but unfortunately, like I said, the budget is just not there for me. I don't know how some of these guys do it, you know, but kudos to the ones that do. Um, as far as the car goes, good news. Got a little bit more done on it. It's not much. Battery in it, lights work, the stuff that should. Um, started going through some of the fuel system stuff to see how I want lines routed. The regulator, I noticed that the fittings were actually bottoming out against inside of the regulator, so I cut those back. I got those clocked where I need them. They're tight, so hopefully they don't leak. I hate AN stuff for that because I use cheap crap, and you've got to really over tighten them for them to not leak. So hopefully that stuff's good. Started seeing where I want the fuel pump. Got a fuel pump. We got the Holly Dominator. I found one used for a good price, so I picked that up. It's like a $600 something pump. I got it for under $200. So as long as that thing works the way it's supposed to, because it does work. But when you have a load and fuel going through it, all that, sometimes you take a chance on used stuff. So hopefully that thing works how I need it to, and I can get the other stuff I need and get this thing finished. I started going through some of the wiring to see what goes where. That's going to be just something I'm not used to with how this is. It's a little bit more in depth. I'm an idiot. I like color coded. Red wire, black wire, the simple stuff. This is like pin layout, so pin 1 goes to this, pin 2, all the way up to 35 for one plug, and then 35 for another plug, or however many wires there are in each plug. So then it's taking that number, finding out which wire it is, trying to trace the wire through the harness, trying to figure out where it ends up out of the harness, because I don't feel like pulling the whole harness apart. So that's going to be very time consuming, and I do not have the energy tonight to do that. Last night I took a break from the car, and tonight I'm just trying to move things along a little bit, so it's just a little bit less I have to do on the back end of things. Now, going back to the no name, just because we're not making that race, there's still stuff to do with this car. The record, that's the main thing. That's my main goal. The no name was just an added bonus. The record is the main goal that I want to do with this car. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to run good fuel in it, which I never did. I always ran it on pump gas 93 or 87. And depending what setup was in it, nitrous, I always ran 93 in it. But I think we're only going to do like a pump gas tune to have some fun with it and be able to cruise it around local. But I think I'm going to try, as long as the fuel system will support it, I'm going to try to put it on M1. The record, I need every bit I can get. It's stock bottom end stick shift record for 8.2 deck, 302. So, it's got to stay a 302 short block, and anything else pretty much goes. And it has to have an H pattern trans, which I have. It's a T5. So, I'm an idiot trying to do it with E7s, but I'm hoping that this blower, because it's not no little S trim, I'm hoping with this blower, it can make some good power and make the steam I need it to make to get the record. My buddy Matt, he asked how fast the car went before to the eighth, because he knows it went nines to the quarter, but eighth mile we never really cared about too much. All this last couple of years, the eighth mile thing's really up here. It's, everybody's been switching to it. It's safer on the street, keeps the motors together a little longer. Longevity of parts makes a pretty good difference. So it went a 632 was my best to the eighth, and the record I believe is 596 or 598, which when I do something I like to overachieve, so I'm going to try to go at least a tenth faster than that. That way there's no discrepancy of, well, you went a 595 once. Some guys say you got to back the record up, which I guess, the gentleman that has it now, I'm not sure if he did back it up. I think he only did it once. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I only did it one time. Clock's on, which the clock will be on when I race this car. I want that to pop up, that 5, whatever it goes. So if we take the record, I would like to see that on the scoreboard, videoed, and time slip. Trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. Sorry for the long pause. Guess I could show you the stupid stuff with the car that works. Got a battery in it, which is it's a dead battery. I got to charge it. But it clicks. Lights. LEDs work. Taillights work. Can't really see the passenger one. Works. So that's good. I see headlights and stuff, hear clicking and things. Makes you feel a little bit better. The regulator. These are the fittings I had to cut. I had to cut these down from bottoming out inside. So that's done. And they're taped, so that way they don't leak. That regulator is very old. It's been on a couple different setups. It's probably about 10 years old, to be honest. Actually, I think it is 10 years old. I think I bought that for my white Mustang in 2014 or 15 when I did the Paxton SN89, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been on a couple different cars. Fittings have been used in and out of it. Those threads are probably worn pretty good. So it's thread taped. A lot of people are against thread tape on fuel systems. You're not really supposed to do it. But I use cheap fittings and old crap. So they're thread taped. As long as you don't have none of it overhanging the holes, things like that, it'll be okay. It ain't going to kill it. I got to get a couple more fittings for that. I need a fitting to adapt the fuel pressure gauge and a cap for the back. I think I'm just going to cap that off back there. But all this is pretty much, it's been plumbed. I plumbed this a long time ago. It's just been waiting to get finished up. So, got a wire right here. for the feed. And it goes to the front of the rails. It'll fill the rails up and run into that regulator, and then go out the bottom for the return and run down the side of the car to the back. That's how it's going to go. Like I said, I started looking at the wiring, going through that. So that's still pretty much looks worse than it did before, because I started pulling the carpet and stuff back to try to look through it and see where certain wires go. So yeah, that's pretty much the update on the car. Not really much tonight. Last night I took a break, but tonight, I got a little bit, not much, but a little bit done. So sometimes figuring little things out saves you a lot in the end. So it might not seem like much got done, but little progress is better than none. So I would have liked to got more done, but it is what it is. So as always, tomorrow or the next night, whatever. This weekend, I think I'm going to try to get this wiring pretty much squared away. The way there's not much left to do. I'd like to get, figure out how I'm going to, what wires are used to power the system on. I've been looking through the instruction manual online for this thing, and I don't know if I'm just blind and going over it or what, but it's something that I'm not too great with. It's schematic wiring. I hate wiring. I hate wiring. Probably more than anybody else. I'll put it to you this way. I hate wiring so much. I was driving the 55 at, when the sun was basically almost set and you could barely see the car. I had people honking at me driving it to get pizza one night because I just wanted to drive my car down the road with no lights. No lights at all in the car. That's how much I hate wiring. So that's pretty much it for this update on this car. And there will be more. So we're trying to get this done. I'm trying to plug away at it and have it done by my birthday, which is a little over a month away. So I got a little over a month to hear this thing run and hopefully drive it onto a trailer to take it to get dynoed, and me and Matt will tune it. Hopefully we could take a record, do some no prep races. I got some guys I want to race with this thing to have, more than what this thing has. But I really want to run this in the stick shift, no prep stuff. I think it'd be a fun car to do that with, as long as I can get it to work. So I'd like to do a couple street events around here with it, or a couple street races, whatever you want to call them. So stay tuned and ride along with us for the journey. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.